What's up, everyone? Welcome back to Every Week We Follow. So today we are doing the preview of Brentford for Saturday, 3 o'clock, if I remember rightly. Gary, as always, is demoing our... Oh, God, he's got the beat. Oh, geez. Gary's got the lovely signed Villa football that, of course, you can win. Just simply donate to a wonderful cause for Acorns. £5 per entry. So if you donate multiples of 5, you'll have multiple entries. It's that simple. One last thing on that, though. It is UK only. So we have had some people donate from outside the UK. Thank you for your donations. Absolutely wonderful. But you have absolutely zero chance of winning the prizes. But thank you.
You can't have your money back. You can't have your money back. Sorry.
No money's coming back. No, done. That's it. So yeah, we've got some signed memorabilia from Bryan Little, Peter With, and yeah. So that's our little intro, little plug for the competition.
There we go.
But we are very lucky today. We have got Simon on, who is the moderator of the Brentford. Is it Brentford FC Loyal or Brentford Loyal?
Brentford FC Loyal, yeah.
Thank you. Brentford FC Loyal Facebook page. And also one of the fellow finalists on the Finalysis app for Brentford. How you doing, mate?
Yeah, I'm really good, guys. Thank you for having me on. Can't wait to get into it with you guys and see what you think and what we're sort of looking to get in for against us on Saturday.
Yeah, so let's get stuck straight into that. So, I mean, you didn't have the best of starts to the season. I mean, I would say our first 45 minutes is one of the worst 45 minutes I've seen for a while from Aston Villa. So, it's going to be a great game then, I'm sure.
Well, if history proves itself, I think we've got some good stats on goals per game. I think it's an average of 3 goals a game for the Villa and Brentford fixtures. So it could be one of those. It's just, first game nerves. Bad day at the office for both of us.
Yeah, Ollie Watkins back in the net again. That was quality.
I still love him. I mean, he had an issue with one of the fans that day, I think, and fair enough. If there was a fan of ours giving it to him, he's going to get it back. I mean, it is what it is. But he's still a B. He's welcome back anytime.
Yeah,
I think Gary will give him back.
It wasn't Watkins's. It's difficult for me, mate, because I've been very, very critical of Ollie Watkins over the last 3 seasons, even though he's hit massive numbers for us and everyone.
Really good numbers, yeah.
Yeah, and it's not about that for me. I think as a football fan, that you go down every week and you watch these guys week in, week out. It's the little things that kind of I look at. The goals and the work rate is just expected. That's what he gets paid to do, right? It's what kind of needs to take us to the next level. And obviously we've been in and around the European places for 3 seasons in a row. And now it's about, we've got to try and push. Now, obviously we've got restrictions in terms of financial things, but on the field, to get to that next level, Watkins has just let us down, if I'm honest. 33 massive missed chances last season. We missed out on Champions League on goal difference. I'm not saying it's all Watkins' fault, but in crucial games, he's not clinical. It's kind of, it takes him 4 chances to score a goal. And at the highest level and the echelons of football, you've got to take them chances when you get them. You can have 1 and 2. You've got to be, for me, it's like a 50% strike rate. So I just kind of go, mate, I love you and I want you in my team because you work your nuts off and, you put up good numbers, but I need that little bit more this year. And then I've watched him in pre-season, look really sharp. And then against Newcastle, that first 45 minutes, he couldn't even control the ball. And I was like, what is going on?
Yeah, he's a streaky striker. He often, once he gets 1 or 2, he goes on and then gets 3, 4, 5 in a row. But he's, I'm a bit on the fence with Ollie. Last season, definitely at the start of the season, I was very much behind him. I was like, Gary, you're losing your marbles. The guy just we can't do any better than Ollie Watkins. He's a fantastic striker, runs the line, leads the line really well. And then, to be fair, I would say the second half of last season was one of his poorer spells for us, really. He would constantly get chances, big chances, and miss them. He seemed to lose all his confidence. I think part of that was the whole Rashford, Duran thing and all that stuff last season as well. He needs to be the man. He can't have competition. It's simple as that. He had it with Danny Ings, he had it with Duran, and he's seen them both out the door. And with Rashford as well. But he, for me, he does so much other than outside. And I know, Gary, the job of a striker is to score the goals. I understand that, but but there is so much, and and also the point I always make is that another striker wouldn't get the chances he gets because of what he does. But all right, you look at the sky, whatever. But Haaland, Salah, they all, I think they were like up there in terms of big chances missed. And the point is that if you get yourself in those positions, the goals will come.
Well, mate, I'll give him this. In the last 2 games at the Gtech, he scored. So, we've had positive results, haven't we? Where we've struggled in previous seasons. I'm hopeful that, again, as a Villa fan, Simon, that you are still in that slow start and we kind of pick it up, because I think that a lot's happened for you guys over the summer, hasn't it? You've lost Thomas Frank, you've got Wissard, I don't know, hanging out with Isak somewhere and kind of talking about who's going where.
Yeah, it's not been the greatest summer.
No.
But we've made some good signings. We have made some good signings, and obviously you're talking about the slow start on Saturday. Definitely the first half was one to forget, and I have forgotten it. So we won the second half 1-0. So that's what I came away with.
Yeah.
Because that was it was better. It wasn't great, but it was good to see the manager taking charge. He saw some things. He brought on Sharda at half time, which absolutely changed the game. We had no outlet, and he provided that for us. Other than Rico Henry, it was just all Rico, bless him, on his own. But yeah, I'm going off the second half performance to get the first half. That wasn't true Brentford.
No, so I'm curious, Simon, like with the loss of Mbeumo and now Wissard being in the dark, who is your main attacking threat? Who have we got to, fear? Who's going to cause us problems?
Thiago's going to be the man, but it's going to be Damsgaard. He's going to be the danger man. He's going to be the one there. We need him to thread through to Thiago so we can run in behind like we've seen him do at Bruges. He looks a great player. Another one with a great personality as well, but you never know until they want to move away, like Mr. Wiss. But yeah, no, Damsgaard's going to be the man putting it together. And unfortunately for us on Saturday, but fortunately for him, great news for him, he had his newborn baby. His wife was in labour that day, so we missed him big time. He's the one that pulls the strings there for us.
It's going to be
so
interesting.
What you're telling me is he could be sleepy deprived for Saturday.
could be a bit sleepy, but I don't know how these footballers do it, because they get to go out to training with the lads every day. They get to play football every weekend.
They don't look after their kids.
They don't look after their kids. Come on.
They pay all these au pairs and live-in nannies and all this stuff.
I know.
God, don't be silly.
They haven't got a clue.
They don't cook their own food, for crying out loud. Right. I was going to quickly ask. Interestingly, it'd be interesting to see how that goes, actually, because obviously another former Brentford man unfortunately won't be playing, Ezri Konsa, because he is out. He got a red card against Newcastle. So I think we'll come on to our predicted lineups later, Gary, but I'm guessing Kamara will drop in. I don't see Pau Torres playing beside Mings. So Kamara will drop into that right centre-back role. I'm presuming then it'll be Onana and Tielemans holding. I'd have loved Kamara in there by the sounds of like trying to break up Damsgaard and trying to stop him pulling the strings. It's going to be Onana's job, that, I think.
Yeah.
He could feature Bogard as well, mate. Because
he could, yeah. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if he will.
It's going to be interesting to see how we deal with that. I think, but after the red card incident last week for us, and how Kamara did fit in beautifully at that right centre back role, I think he'll stick with that just for a bit of consistency. But I don't know. It's an interesting one, because my biggest issue with Villa, and has been at the end of last season, is keeping that back four consistent and having the same back four, trying to anyway. We keep making little tweaks to it, and we keep getting picked off, and it becomes a little bit frustrating, because we try and play some lovely football, but then in transition, or let's say counter-attack, transition, right, with counter-attacking football against us, or teams that sit deep, we just seem to get it wrong, like whether it be on the left or the right, or in that middle pairing. There's people that dwell on the ball too long, or don't move it quick, or and it ends up with chances being created, and we concede stupid, sloppy goals. I think out of the last 10 goals we've conceded, all of them have been through mistakes of our own. And you go, we've got to iron this out. And I think I said to you, James, last pod, that my biggest concern is that we're making those same little mistakes again in pre-season and against Newcastle. That first half against Newcastle, we give the ball away so sloppily. And when you talk about Simon about Damsgaard in that area, like, we could get punished that way,
Yeah, there was one point in when I see the highlights. I think it was Gordon. He had this lovely little run, and he just darted in and out of about 3-4 Villa players. And I was like, if Damsgaard starts, that is what Damsgaard does best, because his footwork it was like watching him there. I was like, oh, we've got a chance there. We can just give it to Damsey and let him do the rest. Let him have a little dance, and he'll. But that was that was a little bit, and also, I think where we sort of play the same, we play like quite a high line. We play the press, and I think you got caught out. Obviously, that's how Ezri got caught out.
Yeah.
We are usually the same, get caught out like that, and it's just a matter of, can we get our quickest player on that back line just to make sure he's covering. But I think that's why maybe there's always goals in this fixture.
Yeah.
Because they're two attacking teams. Unless Keefe decides to change it up and sit a bit deeper, I don't think he will. I think he'll line up pretty much as.
Well, it'll be interesting, because I remember Thomas Frank saying last year that Brentford played two ways. That if you played against any of the top six sides, you would sit a little bit deeper and go for that counter attack. But if you played anyone below that, then you'd initiate that high press and try and win the ball back up high. And so it'll be interesting to see where if that's been followed through in the new era of Brentford. And do you see Villa as a top six side, or are you going, actually, we can just get at these? Because ultimately, if you're watching that Newcastle game last week for us, the high press we struggle with massively. I mean, Newcastle started the game by kicking the ball out of play, and everyone's going, what's that about? And it was just to purely pin us in straight away, because they knew that we'll give the ball away if we put under pressure. It gets better as the season goes on for us. We are good at keeping the ball, but in this initial kind of start of the Premier League, when everyone's clearly a bit rusty, like, that's where the joy is for me. And so I'm really intrigued to see how Brentford set up against us.
Yeah, I'm hoping we do go for the press. As you say, I'm sure they've watched your match against Newcastle back and seen exactly what you've just described. And then hopefully we can get a bit of joy there, especially being back at home, first game back. Nice bit of noise from the home fans would be appreciated. And then, we get going like that. Put the press on. Set pieces wise, we do like a long throw. You've probably seen before. But I think I remember seeing you guys quite the set piece specialists other than us. I think he was like second.
This is another one
last season or something.
Stats of this season on this. Right. Austin McPhee. Oh, mate.
Yeah.
Like, I just think he's stolen the wage off us for 4 or 5 seasons, right? Working under 3 different managers. I don't know who he's sleeping with or who. Like, it's unbelievable, because even though the stats say that, mate, I've said this.
I don't remember it.
If we could take all of the set pieces we've taken over the last 5 seasons, right? I bet the highest majority of turnovers that we've given the opposition a throw in, or they've scored.
Yeah, right.
Well, apparently we scored the most goals from set pieces last year. Like, it doesn't mar up in my brain. And
it's really hard to find. It's really hard to find the statistic of how many attacking set pieces you've had in total, because then we want to get an idea of percentage that have actually got it. Because obviously, of course, if you get lots of free kicks and lots of corners, then you will probably score the most. But we don't have a percentage, and I think that's where Greg out, because the amount of times we watched it going, what was that? Or it's just gone out for a throw in, or I think was it twice against Liverpool? I think they broke on us twice and scored 2 open set
honestly
pieces.
and I'm going, how is he getting paid to do this? I don't understand. But that's just my opinion.
But Simon, I wanted to ask, what your amongst the Brentford fans this season, with everything that's happened, with Frank going, with Mbeumo going, possibly Rissa going, what's the kind of expectation for the season? Where are you expecting yourselves to try and end up?
I think from amongst us all, I think it's always still, or from last season, it was just stay in the league. Let's push as high as we can. Obviously, a couple of times we've got close to that holy land of a bit of European football, the European tour, getting sung quite a few times at the end of a couple of seasons. But I think with the massive change that we've had, with Frank leaving, Bryan gone, Wissa probably on the way, losing our captain Norgard, we've lost a good spine there. Plus, half the backroom team as well went with Frank to Tottenham.
Yeah.
Which is the most thing I was worried about. Is I don't mind players that come and go. We've got good recruitment, but it's the backroom staff for me that always needs to stay in place, because they're the ones that push everything, that keeps us who we are, keeps us how we play. So that was my big worry when I saw 3-4 backroom staff going with Frank. That was a bit scary, but I think we will finish top 10, which is a bit optimistic, but I am an optimistic. But I think where the Finalysis stat that showed on Monday Night Football had us 13th overall. Yeah, I reckon that's a great shout. I went a bit bubbly. I think you boys are bubbling up for me. I think that's a great shout.
Great shout, yeah, I think it's interesting, because the start of the season, when I looked at it, I was like, I think my worry was like, if you don't get any kind of momentum or get going within those first kind of 5 to 7 matches, I was like, you might be a little bit worried. Like I was thinking at the start, I was like, they might end up getting pulled in to a little bit of that bottom kind of 5-6 places. That was my thought anyway. And obviously with Wissa going as well, I was like, oh bloody hell, like I don't know what they're going to do here. But it's interesting that you say that around mid-table. I remember, because last season you were very much on the verges of Europe, right? You were always in the kind of discussion with Brighton as well, and that lot as well.
Yeah, it was close. I mean, it was just a couple of games at the end. I mean, Fulham, that was a real kick in the teeth as our rivals. We don't like them, and they did the double over us. So they took great pleasure in that they halted our European push, but we wouldn't have got it anyway. The way that it fell, the poor old Palace and their situation, and
I mean, one Palace, like for some reason they're like absolute kryptonite. Like we cannot get anything against Palace, whatever. But also, what happened to them with UEFA was just horrendous. Like really, really crap. If I'm honest,
it's a joke.
Cool. And then so I think probably now we can go on to our predictions. So there'll be two parts of this predictions. So there will be, first off, our predicted starting 11s, and then there will be the prediction for the match result. So thank you for sending through your Brentford lineup before. You've done it nicely as well. You download the image. It's all lovely. There's loads of like edit icons and stuff everywhere, like Gary's. So thank you for doing.
I did mine at 9:30 this morning on the toilet, mate. I was at a football match till 10:30 last night.
Is that why it's shit?
Yeah.
Brilliant. So if you could just take us through this, Simon, and just talk about like danger areas for us, where we need to watch out, and any kind of like key changes, or is it just a standard starting 11 for you guys?
Yeah, so obviously a little bit different from Saturday. Hopefully Sharda starting. He had a little bit of a knock, I think, which is why I saw him start on the bench. But from his when he came on at halftime, he's definitely got a start for me. Cavalier did an okay job. He needs a lot of game time, but he'd be great coming off the bench. I haven't got a problem with him. I think he's going to have a good season. He's going to get a lot more time now with Bryan gone. And maybe we get to see our new record signing, Mr. Dango Ouattara. Very interested to see if the price tag matches up. I didn't really see a lot of him, but I have now had a look at some videos, and he does look very Bryan-esque in his own way, and I'm sure he'll. There's something there the Bees recruitment has seen and liked, because we don't mess about in those aspects. So that's going to be exciting to see. I think he'll be a danger. I'm hoping for him to be exactly like a mirror of Bryan, just attack. Damsgaard's going to be your man unlocking. Obviously he was absent because his wife was having a baby. but he's going to be the one dancing around, pulling the strings, threading through to Thiago, who I'm sure he'll, as soon as he gets a chance, he's just going to score. I'm glad he took the penalty on Sunday, because it looks like we've got another great penalty taker. We've had obviously Toney, then Bryan was great at them as well. So another good penalty taker in our midst. Keller in goal. Excited about that signing. I think that's solid. I was quite shocked to see Flecken go, to be fair.
Yeah.
He had a really good season. Started off a bit shaky in his first season, but last season really shored up. So it's good to have Keller there. Coyote, really quick, good defensive on that right wing. He'll be up and down, and he'll cause some trouble as well. He's like a second sort of winger. And he's really, really quick. He can he's 0 to 60 in about 2 seconds. He's crazy, crazy quick. He was on loan with us last season. I'm glad we got him over the line as well. Captain Collins, solid as you like. Sepp, still a bit undecided yet. He had a couple of opportunities where he sort of slipped up, but he is good, very good at corners, set pieces. Attacking, he had a good few chances on Sunday, so I'm definitely for corners. I think you're going to have to watch out, but I also see that I don't know how true this day is, but you're really good at defending set pieces as well. I think it was like third best defensive set pieces.
I'd say that's maybe a bit more likely. Yeah, I think.
Yeah.
Especially when Mings plays.
Yes, Mings is an absolute powerhouse in just clearing everything.
Yeah, I do really like Mings, to be fair. Hendo, be good to see him start. I think we need that little bit of experience, especially in the beginning of the season, just to pull us along. There's a lot of youth there, a lot of new players having to step up to the plate. So one of his always famous touted reasons for going to England tournaments is his dressing room. He's just so good to have in there. He's like a general. I've been one of his biggest critics as a player, but now I've got to get behind him because he's a B now. So I'm hoping that he can just shore up that midfield, because we just got absolutely terrified in the midfield against Forest. They just run us ragged. We lost the battle. That's where we lost the first half.
Yeah.
Yeehaw, he is a very, very exciting young player, and he'll really push on this season. I thought we had a great game against Forest, considering the midfield was to blame, really. But he was standout for me, and I think he'll put a good bit of pressure on your back line. He loves the tackle as well. He's very Norgard-esque. Likes an interception as well. So I think I'm really confident, to be fair. I think the second half, I don't know what I've seen, and I'm sure other Brentford fans will be thinking the same. What is he seeing?
Yeah.
Like, it was just a bad day at the office.
Yeah.
So I think we'll be all right with that. But who knows? Keith might go with something completely different, as you say. We see things that they don't, and they see things that we don't. So that's what I'm going. That's how I'm lining up.
Nice. Yeah, it sounds like a strong lineup. I think so. There's going to be some really interesting matchups. If you're saying like Dango is similar to kind of Mbeumo, it'd be interested to see whether we go with Digne or Maatsen at left back.
Yeah.
Obviously, Gary, we'll see your prediction in a sec for that. Which again, we have absolutely no idea what Unai Emery's going to do. It'll also be interesting with Sharda and Damsgaard as well. Like you say, kind of pulling the strings in that midfield, and also Thiago. I'm just thinking, Gaz, if they do play that high press, I don't really want Bergard in that right centre back role, because I just
which
worry.
is why I think he will go with Kamara, Mike, just because of his playing.
Let's get onto your lineup then. Look at this! All these edit icons and all this malarkey in there. What is this?
It's the ultimate team, isn't it?
Ultimate team. That's exactly what it is.
Right. So go on, Gary. You Emmy back in?
I think Emmy could come straight back in, mate. As much as Marco Bizot was man of the match last weekend.
What a performance! I have to say, what some saves there. Fair play.
We've watched him a bit in pre-season, and obviously you just want. If I'm honest, mate, I wanted us to go for Keller. I thought we were going to go for Keller. Like, I thought that's a great signing. And then when he signed for you guys, I was like, okay, who we need a second keeper. We've sold at Olsen. Emmy Martinez might be going to Man United. Like, we haven't got a goalkeeper for the opening game of the season. And then so when Bizzo came in, obviously he played for Brest last year in the Champions League, and they started okay, but then got hammered towards the end of it. And I didn't know what to expect. But like from the opening couple of minutes when Elanga had that chance 1-on-1, and he just stood up for as long as possible. It was a brilliant save, and he just didn't put a foot wrong for the rest of the game. He just, he came and claimed everything. He was good with his feet, so that's a great addition to our squad. But I just think Martinez owes us a season this year to kind of step up to the plate, and I think Emery's going to put him straight back in, if I'm honest. And it's reassuring that if anything happens to Martinez, that we've got a good replacement. Back four, for me, this is that obviously the Konsa sending off last week has just devastated us, really, because I thought Mings and Konsa looked solid for the whole game against Newcastle. They barely put a foot wrong, even though we were under an immense amount of pressure in that first half. And probably if Isaac had been playing, we'd have probably been 3-0 down at half time. And then it's that big question. I've gone with Maatsen at left back. Only because I want us to. We talked about briefly at the start. Like for me, it's about Villa stepping up a level this year and about trying to win something and finish as high as possible as we possibly can. And Maatsen was in ahead of Dini towards the end of last season. And I sometimes think Emery gets caught up in. I just need someone reliable in this position because we're going against the threat of what that you offer. And I would like us just to go at teams and try and batter them, if I'm honest. And Maatsen just brings that pace and energy down that left-hand side. He's great at getting forward. His end product is a little bit better than Dini's. There are question marks over him defensively, but if we can come out of the traps flying against you guys and put you under that pressure and beat that press, then he's the man for me that will cause you problems down that left-hand side. And then Cash, I think after his performance yesterday, although he's obviously heavily rumoured to be going to back to Nottingham Forest, I hope that's absolute nonsense. I don't see it happening because we've got no real replacement at the moment.
Yeah, I can only say injured, and I guess it would only happen if we had someone coming in.
Yeah, so
the thing I think, but it is.
I think it's
been touted by all the big. Like it's not like this is all over like Twitter or some social media. This is like the Guardian. It's all in the Athletic. It's all it
could have some traction.
Yeah.
So we're interested to see what happens. But I thought after the red card last week, I thought he was immense. I thought he put his body on the line. He defended really well. It's just a shame that he kind of had a hand in the red card by delivering one of the worst passes in football I've ever seen. Right? There's like 4 Villa players in the centre of the box, and he put it to the edge of the area to who? What? When you go. What did he see in that moment? Because I'm looking at the TV going, what have you just seen there?
It's like the worst player you could pass it to on the counter, or like, the transition, as they like to say nowadays.
Yeah,
and it changed the game, obviously. And then obviously Kamara alongside Mings, because I just thought again when he dropped into that position, he was superb last weekend. For me, he's our one player to watch. I think he's a Rolls Royce of a player. I think he's got everything in his locker, apart from maybe goals. He needs to probably add a few goals when he's in midfield. But I don't see, as you said, James, Emery going with 2 left-sided centre-backs. So I think Bogard hasn't played really competitively since the middle of last season. So I think Kamara makes sense there. Onana and Tielemans slightly back. I think Onana has got the legs to cover anything and clear up as well. He did that really well last week against Newcastle, made some really good challenges and drove the ball forward as well when we were under the cosh. We all know Tielemans can unlock any defence in the Premier League. He's got the ability to pick a pass and score goals. I like him playing in this deeper kind of number 8 role, if I'm honest, because he's just more effective there. Unfortunately, that means we have to sacrifice our captain, John McGinn, who I thought had a lot of energy last weekend. I can't see you
doing that. That's the one thing that I'm looking at this going,
yeah.
Nah.
And again, this is my starting 11, mate, so pipe down. Right. And Unai won't do this. McGinn will 100% play on the right, I think. But James and I have talked about this for months, mate, about Daniel Marlon. We signed him in January. He's played barely any football, yet scored 5-6 goals. He looks a threat when he comes on. Impossible to tell what his work rate's like defensively because he's just not had the minutes to kind of show us like that. And he's not a natural right-sided player. He likes to come central, which, he'd more or less partner Watkins. Whereas McGinn will obviously be more disciplined on that right hand side. And then obviously Morgan Rogers is our young player of the year. You know, he had a poor game last week, but he played out on the left hand side. He needs to be playing in the middle because that's where he'll do damage to you. He'll drop deep, pick up the ball off Tielemans, and will just run past anybody, mate. The guy's an absolute animal. Like he's a different beast, and I think utilised correctly, this guy is going to go all the way, mate. I think he's brilliant. And then it's whether or not this left hand side. Obviously, we've just got rid of Jacob Ramsey. He's gone. I would have liked to have seen him playing in this role, but it'd be nice to see if Evan Gtech, our new signing, can get an opportunity. He can play on the left, he can play on the right. So in a way, it gives us a little bit of fluidity with that front three to kind of go, well, look, just mix it up a little bit. You know, can Marlon drop to Rogers could drop to the left and Gtech comes in the middle, or Marlon comes into the middle, just to kind of give us a bit more support for Watkins up top. We all know what Watkins can do. He'll run his nuts off. It's whether he'll take the chances that we'll create, because we will create chances. We're a good side, but it's in that, like I said to you at the start, it's in that defensive third where we're going to win or lose the game, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
Hopefully, hopefully he doesn't.
Yeah.
It's those two wide positions, which I think, to be fair, for most Villa fans, I think we'd always say the wide positions are the ones that we're really not sure what he's going to do. Emery is notoriously slow at integrating new signings into the team. He'll sign a player. I mean, Marlon literally got no minutes last season at all. Even Maatsen, when he signed him, didn't really get that many minutes. I think the only ones who were thrown in straight at the deep end were Torres, because he played with him before, he knew his system. And Nana, I think, because we kind of needed to. And Rogers came in because JJ got injured. So I would say Gasson, I can't see him starting. I think it'll probably be, like I said, McGinn on the right. He'll probably put Rogers on the left. He might put a Nana and Bogard, who knows, but like with Tielemans in that 10. But I just can't see. I'd love to see this, by the way, because I think Gasson and Marlon both have pace. And when Simon was talking before about that high line that Brentford probably might play, we could have some real joy. I mean, Marlon is rapid, and he's clinical. Like, he's really clinical. Like, we've only seen him have a handful of chances, and he's buried like half of them. So I would say definitely I'd love to see Marlon up there with Watkins. That'd be really interesting. Right, cool. Well, thank you for those guys. So next up is our score predictions. So Simon, you come with your celebrity matchbook and pen. And you are ready.
You're more than a result in my little black book. That's my little Drifters impression, mate. If you're of 40 plus like me, you would brought up on it.
A little bit before. Just a little bit.
My mum for that.
Don't let the silverness fool you.
Mate, when I said I didn't have a clue what that song was, I got absolutely slated in the comments.
Yeah,
the amount of people who were like,
it just shows the average age of our viewers, mate.
Yeah, exactly. Right, so I'm going to write them down, and then in 2 seconds, so me and Gary will go first. We'll raise ours together, and then Simon, you can do yours after that. Right. Okay, you ready, Gaz?
I'm ready.
3, 2, 1. Yeah, classic, mate. That's just so you're aware, Simon, as well. That's basically what we went with last week as well, and we were completely wrong on that. So
it's the classic, isn't it? It's we know there's goals in the game. We want to be a little bit nice to the other team. We'll give them a goal.
Yeah, exactly.
We will 100% concede, mate. I think against you guys. We always do.
Well, actually, we had a 0-0 last week. We had a 0-0. But anyway, we do generally always concede. Simon, so what have you gone for?
Yeah, you'll never guess it.
There it is.
A classic.
You know what's going to happen? It's definitely going to be a draw.
Yeah, nil-nil. It's got nil-nil written all over it, isn't
it? God, I'd actually be quite worried if we went 2 games without scoring. I mean, it'd be nice that we didn't concede, but 2 games without scoring is not a great start.
Concerning, isn't it? Mate, it just for me, I don't like to blow my own trumpet, but it proves me right that Watkins isn't clinical enough. Like even in the moments that he had last weekend, there was 3 of them, and only 3, right? And people will just brush it off as if it was nothing. But in the first half, he was played in, miscontrolled the ball. If his first touch is better, he's in on goal. It's an opportunity. Yeah. He might not score, but he creates an opportunity. He had a chance in the second half when good movement from Rodgers played him in, and he was hesitant, like to drive forward. He stopped and then took a shot and hit it straight at Pope, right? And you go, it's just his decision making in those crucial moments. Like it's only a split second, but it's the difference between arguably winning the game and losing the game, and that's what we need to do. We need to be clinical because we'll create chances.
It's just confidence. For me, the season before that, the season before last, he was electric. Everything he touched turned to gold. So same with Bailey that season as well. Right. So Gary, let's just add this to our predictor here. So everyone, as always, if you go to everyweekwepredict.com, Simon, you're welcome to join this, but it is just Villa games. So totally depends. But essentially, if you go here, you will see the upcoming fixtures. I only do these in batches, so you don't go through the entire season. It's better to kind of come in and do them as and when you go. So, Gary, we're going for a 2-1, right?
We are.
And when we're going for the first goal minute?
I'm going 7th minute, mate, today.
7. He's going early.
Going early.
Well, from the first half last weekend, then
Wow. Well,
we got to come out with traps, mate. I'm expecting a reaction from us on Saturday. I really am.
Yeah. That is in. That's in. As we can see here, no one, not a single soul, got a single point. So no one guessed that draw from last week. So we'll just have to see. So as always, yes.
On the Finalysis app, right? I went to put in my predicted score and just pressed the score predictor, and it just entered 0-0. So I got it right.
Yeah, brilliant. Gary's an absolute footballing genius through being a complete numpty.
It's all up here, mate. It's all up here. It's a massive.
That app is completely open, so you don't have to be subscribed or anything like that. You can literally just go to everyweekwepredict.com and just sign up with your email, create a password, and then you can make predictions in there. Like we've said, at the end of the season,
leave a link in the bio.
There is a link in the there will be a link in the bio. I've got a template set up, mate. Don't worry, I've got that in the description. But yes, there will be a link in the bio as well. And if you do end up at the top of the leaderboard at the end of the season, there will be some kind of cash prize. We have no idea how much that will be yet. Could be £2, but you'll win something. Something will happen. Brilliant. Well, thank you so much, Simon, for coming on. That was a really interesting chat.
Oh yeah, thank you for having me, boys. Been a pleasure.
No worries. If you stay on for like 2 minutes at the very end, we can just say byes after the outro plays.
No worries.
Gary, final thought?
Final thought is that Simon looks like an on-field, outfield reporter, so we might use him again. Like he's live from the Gtech Stadium. It's Simon. Like just kind of, I just love the fact that you're in a field at the moment doing.
I think he's somehow actually gone. So perfect.
There you go. Well, there you go. He can catch that on the recording. So, final thoughts, mate, is that I fully expect us to come out the traps in this game, and have a positive start, grab an early goal, and I think we can get over the line. I wanted to say, Simon, I think Brentford are just missing too many key people, and I think they're going to struggle to. It might be a slow start. They might grow into the league as they get to know each other with new manager and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, hopefully, first 3 points of Villa. Come on,
up the Villa. Right, you're going to do your sing out.
Just one thing to do, mate. Yeah, just remember, everyone. Every week we follow the boys in claret and blue.
See ya.
Peace and love.